black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, young, old, gay, straight, men, women, folks with disabilities, all pledging allegiance under the same proud flag to this big, bold country that we love.
Who's your president? As a statesman, it was Obama. He was the best statesman we've ever had, the best speaker. He was an example, in my opinion, of someone who's better than us, who's running the country. This is a guy who's like very educated, very articulate, brilliant guy, lawyer, and the way he speaks is presidential. The way he holds himself is presidential. He doesn't get overly emotional. He's not attacking people. It's like I trusted that he was a statesman. He was a shining example of the best of us.
It bothers Donald Trump, if you haven't figured this out, on a deeply personal, guttural level, that Obama is more educated than him, higher regarded than him, is somebody that no matter where he goes will always receive applause. Meanwhile, he out here getting booed. There's no room Obama could walk into and not get applause or respect.
That I could go back to a time in history when things made sense. I realize that sounds very boomer, but I'm just talking about like when Obama was president and for whatever reason, I naively believed that our future was bright.
Barack Obama, 47 years old, he will be the first African-American president of the United States.
In every conversation, Obama really has to wake up and feel like the man, because no matter what the conversation is, no matter that he was a president, 10 years ago at this point, he gets brought up in every conversation. In every conversation, that man is brought up. It does not matter that he was the president, like I said, 10 years ago. And there are a billion different things that have happened since he was president, including a worldwide pandemic, including the head Cheeto in charge being elected twice. Obama's name is going to get brought up, but Obama did it. But it's better than Obama. Like, I know he wakes up and he just like brushes his hair, brushes his teeth, and he just puts Rich Homie Quan on. Like, you know what song I'm talking about, because there is no way he doesn't look at Michelle and be like, and she's like, shut the fuck up. Like, come on. This man's name.
When President Obama took office in 2009, the country was in an economic freefall. Unemployment is now at 4.7%. 82 straight months of job growth. That is the longest streak ever in the history of our country. Under President Obama, the high school graduation rate in this country hit 83%. That's the highest it has ever been in the history of this country. Under President Obama, we have had the first drop in the federal prison population in decades. Under President Obama, after a concerted effort by his administration, homelessness among American veterans dropped by half. Under President Obama, 16 countries around the globe gave up every last ounce of their highly enriched uranium, taking away the risk that it could be stolen or misused to assemble the core of a nuclear weapon or to make a dirty bomb. President Obama in 2011 ordered the Navy SEALs into Pakistan on that mission that killed bin Laden. Under President Obama, banks can no longer use your money that you deposit in that bank to make risky bets for their own profits. When President Obama took office, the deficit was about 10% of our GDP. It is now about 3% of our. Under President Obama, our country's dependence on foreign oil plummeted. President Obama overturned the ban on scientific research using stem cells. President Obama upped by billions of dollars the resources available for mental health care in the VA. And under this president, gay couples finally got all the same options as straight couples. Oh, and you can't be denied health insurance because of a pre-existing condition. And you can't be charged more for your health insurance because you're a woman. And your health insurance can't put a lifetime cap on what you're allowed to need because of your health care. And 20 million Americans got health insurance because of President Obama.
Black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, young, old, gay, straight, men, women, folks with disabilities, all pledging allegiance under the same proud flag to this big, bold country.
President Obama made a big mistake when he forgot to salute this Marine. Watch the beautiful moment he realized his mistake.
The problem is that Barack Obama, for example, Barack Obama had to be editor-in-chief of the Harvard Law Review. Barack Obama had to be a United States senator. You all gave Barack Obama hell because he had a selfie stick and wore a brown suit. But yet and still, this man comes on stage in front of the world and he rambles and he misspeaks and he says this and he could have said that we solved the war between Wakanda and Namor, right? And Republicans would have been like, oh yeah, I'm glad we stopped that African country.
I have to make a decision as President of the United States as to what is best. I'm sorry, what's going on?
Watch what happened when President Obama suddenly had to pause his conference to save someone's life.
Somebody's not feeling good? All right. We can get our doctors back there to help out. Can somebody help out, please, and get Doc Jackson in here? Somebody grabbing our doctor?
Thank you, Mr. President, for stopping.
Of course. In the meantime, just give her a little room. You guys know where the doctor's office is? Just go through the palm doors, right next to the map room. There he is. All right, there's Doc Jackson. Doctor's in the house.
Can we just take a minute and talk about how cool President Obama is, right? Can we just talk about how cool he is? And this is why Trump hates him. This moment right here is exactly why Trump hates him. Do you know how many unlikely variables goes into the President of the United States, ex-President of the United States, sitting courtside? The ball flies in his direction. Instead of being whack and shit and knocking it off, he catches the ball, hands the ball back to the player, gets up, dabs up the player, and then is sitting there with his wife, looking and smelling like cocoa butter. Like the amount of unlikely variables. Trump could never be this person. And that is why he's always mad. Now, I'm sure because he's a racist bigot. But the fact is, this is an educated, black, smart man. Graceful, loving, beloved by everybody, and celebrated everywhere he goes. Everywhere Trump goes, he gets booed. This man made a Kodak moment in 1 second because he is just that wonderful.
Talking point from MAGA is, well, Obama dropped bombs too. Yeah, he did. And he did it better. Obama was able to use surgical strikes and limited military operations to take out targets and not start a fucking war. How about that shit? He did it better. In fact, most of the things that the Trumpies like about Trump, Obama did better. We'll go with unemployment. Obama did better. Economy. Obama did better. Deportations. Obama did better. He was able to deport way more people than Donald Trump, and he's able to do it on 1/10 of the freaking budget. Yeah? And without sending fucking goon squads into American cities. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get across a healthcare bill. Trump can't. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get tax cuts for the low and middle class. Trump, for the upper class, for the rich. Obama did it better. So trying to say that Obama did it too on any subject just shows the failure of Trump and the failure of his people to recognize that everything that Trump said Obama did it fucking better. They just don't like that a black man did it better than a white man. And one last point, let's not forget that Obama was able to get Iran to enter into a non-proliferation treaty for nukes. Trump couldn't do it, so Obama did it better.
They just want to find any way to blame the black man, just like they always tell black people to find a way to blame the white man. While white conservatives always blaming the black man, always bring up Barack Obama nonstop while he hasn't ran the office in over 80 years.
Let's slow jam with President Obama.
My fellow Americans, it has been the honor of my life to serve you. I won't stop. In fact, I will be right there with you as a citizen for all my remaining days. I do have one final ask of you as your president. The same thing I asked when you took a chance on me 8 years ago. I'm asking you to believe, not in my ability to bring about change, but in yours. I miss you too. That's why I came. Now, one of these values is freedom. So let's talk about that for a second. I do not think we have ever had. I don't think we've ever had an election where candidates understand the concept, the idea, and the reality of freedom so differently. Because for Donald Trump and his cronies, freedom basically means getting away with stuff. It means, well, You know, if I want to bust a union, I can get away with that. And no, do not move. Vote.
You know,
I have this fear that I am going to die with a pit of sadness in my stomach, wishing that I could go back to a time in history when things made sense. I realize that sounds very boomer, but I'm just talking about like when Obama was president, and for whatever reason, I naively believed that our future was bright.
The rogue behavior of agents of the federal government is deeply concerning and dangerous. But we should take a moment to appreciate the extraordinary outpouring of organizing, community building, decency, citizens saying, this is not the America we believe in, and we're going to fight back, and we're going to push back with the truth, and with cameras, and with peaceful protests, and shining a light on the sort of behavior that in the past we've seen in authoritarian countries, and we've seen in dictatorships, but we have not seen in America.
I miss that man. I miss having a leader who was able to speak hope into us, was able to ask us to be our best selves on a regular basis. And as much as I appreciate his words, we all know that the resistance we have put up so far is not enough and will not bring down this regime. And I just fear that we have quite a number of dark days ahead of us.
Remember that time where we had a president that actually loved and cared for every citizen in America, and he could sing too? Come on, Obama, sing! So in love with you. Whatever you want to do is alright with me. Yeah! Obama made us feel so brand new. Yeah, he did. Can I get a hello?
I miss Obama so much. We had it so good. Was Obama the perfect president? No, not by any means. Each president has had their fault. But Jesus Christ. I grew up with Obama in office, okay? Obama was in office from 2008 to 2016. That's my entire, teen life, okay? Y'all ever seen The Crown? You know that moment on one of the first few episodes of season 1 in The Crown after the king dies? And, Winston Churchill is giving his, basically his speech over the radio. There's a part where he talks about growing up in the August summers of Queen Victoria, and I'm just like, you know what? That's how I feel about Obama right now. It was a beautiful time. I was still able to go back and forth from Mexico. Getting a passport was $25. Gas was $2.50, maybe $3 sometimes. I'll admit, gas was expensive. I'm not gonna lie, but Lord, everything else wasn't. At that time, ramen was less than 25 cents. I know I said I wanted to grow up, but I'm tired of this, Grandpa. And I know it's too damn bad, but I'm tired.
I just want to know, why do so many people get so upset when I say I consider President Obama as the most presidential president in U.S. history that I know of? Keep in mind, I was not even old enough to vote for him when he first ran for election. So let's just get some context here, okay? In your lifetime, you might think otherwise, but in my lifetime, I consider President Obama as the most presidential president in the history that I've known. And I stand by that. I have a right to my opinion. You have a right to your opinion. That's the way this country works, and that's okay. There's no need to be upset about it.
So guys, we all know this. I thought that this should be knowledge that is with everyone else, that when you make a bad decision, you should be ready and brace yourself for the consequences of that. That is really pretty much the rule for this life. If you make a bad decision, you better brace yourself, be ready, be prepared, because consequences, they don't lie. Consequences will be there. They promise they will be there. And you have to handle that, while you live your life, just know that whatever bad mistake that you made in the past, it will catch up with you and you will have to deal with that. Now, that is now the reality for the MAGA people. We have complained about MAGA people, they do not agree to what people that do not support Trump have to say, To them, they're always right. To them, they know what they're doing, they do not pay mind to listen to what people are saying. People complained about President Trump for a very long time. They complained, talked about his leadership. He has been in leadership before. You saw what he did. This is not a man that has the interest of Americans at heart. This is not someone that cares about what is happening to you or your family or to the rest of Americans at large. This man only cares about his billionaire friends. This man is only about making money for himself and his friends. He only cares about his family. When those things were coming out and people were explaining them with a lot of pain, you should have taken the time to understand, even if it's not what you believe in, because people are actually allowed to have different opinions, different ideas, different thoughts. It is okay that you were on Trump's side. It is very much okay. It is also very okay that you want to give your vote to the person that you think is best suit. Yeah, it's the same case for people that voted for Obama and voted for the other parties in the previous elections. Now, it is okay for you to have, it's your legal right, it's your constitutional right to vote for whoever you feel is good and capable of holding that position, that office. Now, what is not wrong, however, is you trying to, making a decision that is not informed by information. Yeah? Before you vote for someone, just know that they're going to hold that position for years. And for someone to hold a position for even one day, it impacts you directly. Now, that is what the MAGA people did not pay attention to. They voted for him, most of them, and sadly, most people voted for President Trump only because he is a white man. Let's sink that in for a minute. Most of the people that voted, most of the people that cast their vote for President Trump only did that merely because he's a white man and they are white. Yeah? Not to mean that there are not black people that voted for him. There are black people and not very few. There were many actually that voted for President Trump. And you wonder, sometimes after these elections and after all this analysis, you sit and you are unable to even sit with your thoughts, because how do you mean, after everything that this man has done, after everything that you have had people complain about, give you evidence of what he has done in the past, how do you find yourself voting for this man, casting your, oh my God. Yeah, so you are unable to wrap your head around that fact that someone, actually a black person for that case, went and voted for President Trump. I don't know for what. I don't know if they thought maybe if they were nicer to him, he would treat them better. I don't know. It's desperate times. You do not sometimes know why people are making such sometimes such decisions. Maybe they thought that if they bring him close, if they try to look as if they're supporting him, then maybe he would treat them a little bit better. People that are capable of doing that kind of thing are known to the whole world. You do not need a lot. You need to see how they treat people, even sometimes their own white people. Look at how he treats his white people. He doesn't care about them. He doesn't care that there are white people that are homeless. That's not his, none of his business. He doesn't care that there are white homes right now that are unable to afford food. People are crying about food stamps, about the prices of foods, goods and commodities, the price of fuel, the price of housing. People are unable to even own a home. They can barely have it as a dream because it's now too far from even a dream. You cannot even dream of owning a home because it's too expensive. Life has changed. If you did not buy your home in the past years, then you're not going to be able to do it as long as the kind of person that is in power is this one that we have right now. It's going to prove very hard for anyone at all, unless you are his very close friend and you are a billionaire. Those are the only people that are having a soft life in America right now. Now, the MAGA people, what they did not know was that they needed to do some research on this guy. They needed to make sure that they know quite a bit of information before voting for him, before supporting him, before doing all the crazy things they have done for him. He has not disappointed. He's always the same man over and over again. He has disappointed the MAGA people in very crazy, cruel ways. Not paying them, for example, the ICE people, not paying them, not caring about them, not listening to them. You know, he's basically just living his life. The MAGA people voted for him, supported him, did everything they did for him because they knew that he is a racist and he was going to look down on black people, discriminate upon them, use the government resources to not benefit black people, only benefit white people. And they were okay with that. That was the good news about voting for Trump. And they decided right away that that is what they want. Now, when you see them crying here and talking about they made a wrong decision, this is what they voted for. This is what black people told you. You need to think twice. You need to reason, just be logical for once. This guy is wrong for you. He's wrong for us. He's wrong for everybody. They did not listen. They thought maybe black people were saying that because they just didn't like him because he's white. Now they're experiencing it, learning from their own experiences, and it's super painful. They're now talking about it. They regret supporting President Trump. And should we say it's just a little too late? Yeah. So guys, if you have thoughts or comments on this video, make sure that you share in the link in the comment section down below. Share this video to your friends and family, like-minded people. Like the video, give it a super thanks, give it a thumbs up. Yeah, let's help this video to reach as many people as possible. If you're new to this channel, if you're watching me for the first time, my name is Furaha and I'm happy to have you on my channel today, and I hope that you stick around for more. If you've not watched my videos, go to the playlist that I made for you below. Watch the videos, acquaint yourself with whatever we do on this channel, and if you like it, you can be part of this amazing family by subscribing to the channel. I will see you on my next one. Bye for now.